Black Ops 6 Zombies currently has me in a chokehold. I am enjoying the ever-loving hell out of this game. It's been a very pleasant surprise, especially coming off of MWZ and a little bit of Cold War, if I'm being honest. I really like how this game really brings in something old and new into the game mode, those being augments and just like the Cold War system being extremely refined in Black Ops 6. However, this video isn't really going to be about the game mode itself. Rather, this is going to be a review of Liberty Falls, or as the community has come to call it, Liberty Balls. Before getting into details, I would like to thank everyone who watched my Blood of the Dead video. I did not expect it to even get past 3 views, considering that video was made out of spite for my 2 buddies here. So, really appreciate the people that watched that video, and I wanted to thank you for giving me such amazing support on it. Back to Liberty Balls though. The initial community reaction was negative when it was revealed, and frankly, I don't understand why. I know the community wanted to get the original aura of Black Ops 3 and the older zombies, but quite frankly, when the game was told and advertised as a direct sequel to Cold War, I wasn't expecting much more than a direct sequel to Cold War. I will say though, I believe the community was misled when it comes to Liberty Falls, as that cinematic trailer made it seem like the map was going to fit the old aesthetic more that the community definitely wanted. But again, like I said, I was definitely just expecting something like straight out of Cold War. So when I actually saw gameplay of it and when I actually started playing it, I definitely wasn't disappointed or surprised. At least story-wise though, it does make sense why the map doesn't look as chaotic as like Transit, for example. And that's just because this town literally just broke out into an outbreak maybe an hour or 2 before the operation team shows up. Going into the map layout, I feel like I can confidently say this map does its job very efficiently. It's small and plays very casually. There's literally no brain power required to play this map. It does very much feel like a small town. There are lots of mom and pop shops around there. The zombies themselves present themselves in a way too, where it's like, oh, this is like Hickville. Like you'll see a lot of different types of characters in the zombies. And I think that just adds a little bit more personality to the map. The spawn is very large, but it isn't anything very special. You spawn on top of a roof of a gas station, and you can see the overview of the entirety of Liberty Falls, and you can tell, yeah, this place has gone to shit. Moving from the spawn, you'll go to the comic book shop, and you'll see there's a lot of funny references to Cold War and the older Black Ops games. And it has a very important trap that I will talk about later. The Adarella trap is very funny. It just shoots a laser and just beams all the zombies down, which again adds a little bit of personality to the map. Moving up to the Hill Street, again, nothing of interest here other than a perk and a couple of parts for the jet gun, which is on this map. The bank is another area in this map that holds Jug in the vault, and the vault is a very important point of interest on this map, as it allows you to later in the rounds get these keys that you could open up safe boxes in the vault to get loot. On the left side of the spawn, there is a part of the map that is the bowling arena, and that holds stamina and probably the best training spot in the earlier rounds for the entire map. The actual bowling lanes are very flat, which makes it good for headshots, and the spawns are quick enough but not that fast to where you don't get overwhelmed immediately. At least in the earlier, like, first 30 rounds, I'd say. Moving up though, there's the staircase up to the church, which has PhD Flopper, which God bless Treyarch for making this perk as it should be, a flop, not a slide. And once you get to the top of the town, after going up either the stairs or the street, you'll reach the graveyard and the Dark Aether or the church. The graveyard isn't really an area you want to be in. I found that this entire area gets very chaotic very quickly. There is a very important wall by here, which is the level 3 armor. Moving on to the church, once you open those doors, you have access to Pack-a-Punch. It's very simple. You don't have to do anything special for it. All you have to do is just open up the map and you reach the Pack-a-Punch, you get Pack-a-Punch. I will say by far the church is the most aesthetically pleasing part of the map, mainly because it's purple and I like the color purple, and I really like you look up in the roof of the church when you're inside it and you'll see like just the sky of the Dark Aether. It's very cool what they did with that little area. All in all, I believe this map does its job very well, and I don't think it is trying to be any more than a very casual experience and a very open and easy one. Especially with this game system, the zombies are, well, I should say, I believe the zombies spawn more than 24. In older games, you'd be capped out at 24 zombies. I believe in this game it's 50. I want to say it's 50. but you could definitely feel it, especially on multiplayer, that there are way more zombies than you would think. This map, being very open as it is a lot easier to play around, and you don't have to use as much brain power to play it. Moving into the gameplay now, I actually think the best part of this map are the side Easter eggs. The side Easter eggs in this map are very easy to activate, and they are very fun. I think my favorite one by far is definitely the Aetherella trap, and that just requires you running around the map gathering these little figures of the Aetherella trap, and once you collect all of them, you get rewarded a very special gift. You become the Aetherella trap, and you just beam everything in your path. There's also the bowling side Easter egg, which lets you just play bowling with zombies. I don't hate it. I think it's very silly. You do get rewarded, and there is a calling card for getting more than 300 points. It's a Dark Ops challenge, believe it or not. But just stuff like this, small stuff like this that this map has, does add more personality to it. I definitely think that, if anything, sure, it's not the aura from Black Ops 3 where it's like you load up into DE and the whole map's blue, and it definitely makes an initial impact. I believe this map does really well. What this map does really well, I should say, is it lets you see all the small things from this town and then adds them in these little small side Easter eggs. Like the comic book store has the Aetherella trap, and it lets you become the Aetherella trap. And the bowling alley lets you fucking bowl, literally, which is fun. I think that adds a lot of personality to this map. The only main issues I have with this map are the jet gun itself and the traps. Now, I love the Aetherella trap. I think the idea of it is fucking hilarious. The Aetherella trap is in a really bad location, though. The comic book shop, once the zombies start spawning a lot quicker and they're all sprinting at least, that trap gets overwhelmed very easily, and that is not a good thing for a trap to do. A lot of good traps, I would say, for example, the zapping traps on Kino, Verrucht, Doris, those maps had traps where you could walk through, activate it, and there's like stuff separating you from the zombies. Whereas with the Aetherella trap, you kind of have to actively be dodging and hope to God this trap like aims where you want it to aim at that moment. The other trap on this map is the Dark Aether trap, and those traps are very okay. I wouldn't say they're bad. I think the best thing about the trap is that you can actually kind of just stand in it. You'll take chip damage, but it's very minimal. It's very minimal chip damage. The thing that sucks about it, though, is that it does not do any damage to the boss zombies. And unfortunately, a consequence of being in the Black Ops 6 engine is that once you get past round 20, you're constantly fighting a Mangler or an Abomination each round. That is something I will say, though, that I do not like about this map, and that is its elite enemy. Its elite enemy is the Abomination from Forsaken, and god damn it, that fucking thing should have stayed in that map. I don't like how frequently it doesn't open up his heads. You basically have to fight it at a certain distance, and when it comes to zombies, you're always training up hordes and gathering all these hordes to eventually just mow down in one sweep movement to start manipulating the spawns and whatnot. This Abomination will always knock down the hordes, either walking through it, running through it, or shooting a beam through it. If you get too close to the Abomination, it usually starts like running fast at you, and it will open up ahead, but by the time it does that, it usually is caught up with you and just chomps at you. The laser's easy to shoot at because all his heads open up when you start shooting out a laser. However, the issue is 99% of the time there's a horde in front of you that you have to deal with first. So you get the zombies body blocking. I don't like the Abomination for that reason. I can understand why he would be on this map. That's not the issue. The issue is that he feels very oppressive purely based off the fact that there's so much body blocking. Also the opening of the heads. The jet gun on this map is what I expected the jet gun to be. It's not a very strong wonder weapon. It doesn't do any boss damage, so Manglers and Abominations can really just tank hits from this thing. It is really good for just sitting in a corner and just sucking up all the zombies from what I've seen. I know the current high round strategy on this map is to sit on the roof, the main roof of the bank, and just kind of suck up all the zombies to get salvage and then just cycle score streaks like that. I personally think the one thing this map could need is either better traps just to be able to handle the Abomination a lot easier, or a better wonder weapon, frankly, because I like the jet gun. The idea of the jet gun's cool. It just, for this map, it does not help to have it due to the elites and the Manglers just not being able to actually do anything with it. Anyways, moving on to the Easter egg. I think this Easter egg is very simple. I did it on my first attempt. When I sat down, it was like, today we're doing the Easter egg solo. Did not even have to look up a guide for it. This map reminds me of the Mob of the Dead Easter egg in terms of how fucking easy it is. It is incredible how fucking easy this Easter egg is. It's literally 3 steps total. 4 steps, honestly. You build the jet gun. You build the device by getting parts with the jet gun. You defend the portals from them collapsing from zombies by placing the device on there. High value target spawns in. Kill the high value target next to an Aether canister to power this generator. And you do that using the traps. Very simple, very easy. You repeat this again with the other canister. And the other canister, you just need to align these cameras that are around the map, which are very obvious to find, by the way. These are not difficult to find. And once you align these cameras, the other canister is freed. You repeat the steps with another high value target. And then once you place that canister back into the generator, there's a final holdout in the church and Dark Aether. Now, if I were to say anything about this Easter egg, I like how quickly you can complete it, and I like how easy it is. There isn't really a reason that this Easter egg should be difficult. Like I said earlier, this map feels like a very casual experience, and I believe that's what they meant to keep it as. Even with this Easter egg, all you gotta do is beat 2 boss zombies and then do a holdout in the church. Literally nothing wrong with that. Once you complete the holdout, the Easter egg ends. The game gives you an option to end the game or not, and usually I do. But if you don't, you do get rewarded very handsome. You get a Perkaholic, a couple of gold guns, a ray gun, tier 3 pack-a-punch, and I believe that's it. Maybe there's an Aether tool in there somewhere, legendary Aether tool, so you can upgrade the rarity of your current gun. But overall, if I were to rate this Easter egg, I'd say this is a solid B tier Easter egg. Fits the map very well. There's really no annoying steps. Like, you could do this like clockwork. There isn't really anything wrong with that, especially because this map is supposed to be a casual experience. Overall, this map has pleasantly surprised me. After seeing the initial community reaction, after seeing the gameplay trailers, I really thought that this map was gonna just be like a very brain dead, I'm just gonna get on this map, grind out my camos, never play it again once I finish grinding my camos. But honestly, this map feels to me like how the Giant felt to Shadows of Evil when Black Ops 3 came out. There's nothing wrong with that. I believe that this map does a very good job of bringing in new players even. It's very surprising to me because I have buddies that have never really played zombies, and for the first time in a long time, I think this is a game where I could properly introduce them to Call of Duty Zombies and not have them feel extremely overwhelmed. There's a very simple Easter egg where they could probably figure it out on their own if they wanted to. I showed them how to do this Easter egg. They're like, oh wow, that's really easy. And I told them, well, Terminus is a little more difficult, man, but if you want to try doing that, we can definitely do that later. And he's like, all right, yeah, I'm definitely down. And with that, you get the ball rolling and people getting interested into zombies. And I think that's a very good thing to have. And I believe Liberty Falls is that hook. It is just supposed to be a map that hooks you in and keeps you playing. And I believe this map does that extremely well. I will say, though, it could be due to my low standards going into this map. But the more I've played this map, the more I've begun to like it. I definitely think this map is playing that role that the Giant did when Black Ops 3 came out. I didn't really like Shadows of Evil on release. I know a lot of people didn't really like Shadows of Evil on release. I'm not saying I don't like Terminus, but if I'm booting up Black Ops 6 99% of the time now, I'm playing Liberty Falls because, well, frankly, I don't want to do all that setup sometimes. Sometimes I just want to sit down and completely brain rot away killing at zombies. And I believe Liberty Falls does a really good job of that. I don't think I'll rank this map yet on a list, not until maybe the new DLC 1 map comes out later in the year. But I will have to say, I believe it is on that same level of the Giant as of now, where it is a very relaxing and casual zombies experience. And that honestly, there really is not much else to say about this map. Anyways, I do plan to have a video sometime next week on Terminus. It'll probably be a lot more in depth than this video. This video was really meant to be a lot more rambly because honestly, I don't really take this map that seriously, purely because it is so casual. Like I stated earlier, like that is the best thing about this map. It is casual. And I believe this is something we've been missing from zombies in such a long time, where we just have a map that we boot up and just play. We don't have to do some Easter egg. There's no setup. Like, you just fucking play it. So hopefully by next week, I'll have a really solid Terminus video. We'll see how long that will end up being, but I need to play that map more because frankly, I've not played that map enough. I definitely have been wanting to play it more, but the camo grind takes priority, gamers. Nothing else does. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'm not trying to be a mainly zombies content channel, but recently this has been what has taken up all my interest. I definitely do want to expand out my content more, just talking about games I enjoy, man. Or maybe games that I just fucking despise. Who knows? We get there when we get there. Anyways, thanks for watching and have a good day.